Well, we got a little break in the action of working on that truck, getting this bush hog serviced up. Junior's gonna bush hog some ground that we left open to spread manure on, and we're gonna seed it down here in August. We're gonna bush hog it now, and then we're gonna hit it with a dose of Roundup when just before we go to plow it. So we had to pull that wheel off. We had a pin coming out, and I've got to look for a dust cap for it here. This pin here had come out, and it was actually rubbing against the tire a little bit. So we got that back on there. Run up and get this full of fuel. I'll look for a dust cap. All right, I'll pick that stuff up. And one of the other jobs that we've got going on is this pile driver blade on the 9410. We've got a pile of parts right there. One of the parts that we were waiting for that we didn't get here till last week is one of these threaded pins here. We broke the back pin earlier on, and we kept welding it, but that wasn't going to hold. So we ended up taking it apart, and in order to get them threaded pins out, we had to cut them. And in order to get those pins in, we've got to take some of this stuff off so we can drive that pin in through this hole. The threaded pin goes into here, and that other pin goes there, and then what that does is it adjusts the levelness of the blade. So Jason's getting this unhooked from the tractor so that we can come in with the forklift and kind of manhandle some of these parts here so that we can get those pins in. We were hoping that we were going to be able to sneak it in from the center, but there's just not enough room. We were broke down with this. We probably halfway through first cutting, and we've been just waiting for parts with this damn COVID. Everybody's got the excuse to be lax on having the parts available for this stuff. So Junior's got to run that up, get it full of fuel, and we've got to take it to the field for him. I'll have to ride back with one of the spreading guys. Well, Jay's got this all back together, and he's ready to roll it out the door. He's just got to hook his cylinder up on the right hand side and finish getting this one hooked up. On the left, he has a little adjusting to do. Once he gets his cylinders on there, he'll float the blade itself, and then we've got to pull the top of the blade back a little bit. We're nose-dived into the front. We're off the ground in the back. So once he gets things put back together here completely, he'll float it, and then he can adjust it with these nuts here. Well, it's that time of year again. Every year we have to handle small bales to take care of one of the landlords that we have. We exchange the hay for land rent. So that's what we're going to work on here today. Nate just pulled out one load. I got one load in behind my truck here, and that's what we're going to work on. All right, we're just rolling up to the intersection of 20 and Amber, and you guys are going to be disappointed in me because we did not add any sewing machine oil to the fuel here, and Nate doesn't know how to get this tractor to smoke like you have all seen in the previous videos here. So got a small cloud coming out of it, but nothing like we regularly see when me and Jared get after it. I know we've gotten some comments about putting bigger turbos on there and adjusting fuel and everything else. Well, it's nothing to do with that. It does have a larger turbo on it than what the stock one was, but it has nothing to do with it being turned up. It's just the nature of the beast here, and it's not wasting fuel either. When we had that on the big baler, that tractor and the 7290 baling, that burned about just a little over half the amount of fuel that the 7290 did per hour. So it is not it is not burning more fuel than what it should. So we only have to go about another mile here or so, and then we'll be to where we have to unload this hay and get these loads thrown off before it gets raining here. It rained a little bit overnight on this side of town, but it didn't rain at the farm. So he's climbing this little bit of a hill here, and we barely have any smoke coming out of it. So I am sorry to disappoint you here.
This is all wrong.
Well, we just got this hay unloaded, and these guys are mounting this tank on truck 12 so we could start hauling manure with it. What they did is they used the payloader here to lift it up. Looks like they got it just about ready to bolt down there. How'd that work? What'd you do, lift the front up and cable it on?
Yeah.
Or did you lift the whole thing?
We had to push a little bit on, but it went 3/4 of the way.
Yeah, good deal.
Good deal.
Well, I'm gonna check on them guys spreading. I don't know if it's raining over there or not, but we'll have to get that swing boom going good, and yeah, all right.
Yeah.
All right, we are gonna run over to where they're spreading here. The guys with these trucks here, we've got one that just pulled out and another one on deck there. Those are Newton's trucks, and we'll check on these guys, see how they're making out. They're taking manure over to the frac tank, and Andrew and Sarah are spreading off of the tank there. So we'll get out ahead of this guy here in a minute once the traffic clears up. These showers that have been running through the area here have been somewhat spotty, and sometimes it's raining here, yet it's not raining back over at the field. So it's black off that way and gray, so I don't know where this storm is gonna line itself up to here. So the storm is probably going to be moving about as fast as we are to the east, so it might actually follow us right to the field here. So all right, we are up to where they've been hauling the manure here for the last week or so, and Tim has just offloaded his load into the frac tank here. Sarah pulled up. She's got the tanker loaded, and she's spreading in the field on the other side of that little hedgerow over there. So they're hauling up here with 4 semis. Jared, he jumped in the truck with me for a second here. Looks like Tim is almost empty. Not quite. And we'll run out back and we'll check on Andrew. He just loaded from the frac tank, and he's headed out back on this other side over here. Well, Andrew's running the 9320 along with a 6,000 gallon tank. He's got a little bit over here on this one section here to spread on or inject on. The only problem with that tractor is turning the PTO on. It takes a little bit to get that PTO lever engaged. And he's just lining himself up here. getting geared down. Alright, Sarah has just got done offloading her load and she's headed back to the frac tank to load up another load. Alright, Andrew is just getting back to reload here. So he'll back in, get underneath the pipe, and then he'll reload and head out and spread another one here. Let's see if he can hit that. Bang! There he goes. He's just got to pull ahead a little bit. Yeah. What do you think there, buddy? Hey, you want Charlotte to come up and take your spot? You're probably pretty tired by now, ain't you? No? You don't know what to do with all that power? You should probably be running the 9560. That PTO would turn on easier. Huh? That's a little hard to grab that lever, isn't it? Gotta stand right up and put both hands on it, right? Well, you be careful, okay? All right. Alright, Andrew has just pulled out. He's got his tank loaded. Now Sarah's gonna back hers in there. Alright, we'll see if she can hit that as quick and as easy as Andrew hit it. That longer tank is actually a little harder to see because it's back there a little farther, but looks like she did it. First try. I don't know if she's gonna come over and say hello or not. You gonna say hello? Hi. How you like hauling manure? You love it? Yeah? Doing a good job. I don't know what the rain's gonna do, but it rained at home before I came over here. So, be careful. Alright, Andrew's got his second load here, and what Jared is doing is he is disc ripping this hard packed roadway here where they've been driving across the field. He's got the 8320 on the disc ripper, and you can see that that's compacted quite a bit there. He's not using the discs at all, but what he wants to do is break this up so that Andrew can apply manure to it and not have to worry about the injector on the spreader coming out of the ground. So he's made a couple of passes here already, and then Andrew has stepped down into where he left off with his last load. I better put it in four-wheel drive. Ooh, there we go. Locked in now. So there's the phone again. That's always a problem. Always a problem. So once Andrew makes one more pass, he'll be over into this ground that's been disc ripped. And it'll actually, the injector will actually go into ground a little easier. You can kind of see the difference in between the ground that he's on and the ground that has been traveled to get to this other side of the field here. Once Jared breaks through this here, this will actually make this dry out as well. The ground has just been so hard that the rain that we have gotten has made that little mud spots not really be able to dry out. So we better get back to the shop. I thought I'd come over and check on these guys, see how they're doing. Looks like they're doing a decent job here. Jared's getting my tractor all mud. She's clawing a little bit right there. But the only way we're going to be able to get that to dry out is to get it worked up. Oh, it's got some rock there. I think that's the most I've seen that tractor spin since we've got it. Oh, we'll have to wash that before we put seedings in. That shouldn't get too dirty. Well, Andrew is about out of manure. Looks like he's gonna get that to run right to the end. He said he has it figured out pretty well that he can make 2 loads go the whole length of the field. So, all right, we're gonna get back to the shop. Look at how black the sky is. I think when we drive back home, we're going to be driving to the west. I think we're going to be driving into some rain again, but that's all right. Well, this is where Andrew came with the bush hog. That field that Sarah is spreading in, those weeds were pretty high. What we plan on doing to this farm is we plan on coming in here next week after the grasses have started to regrow a little bit, and we want to hit it with Roundup. It's better to hit these weeds when they're a little shorter. You'll have a better kill with them. So one of Newton's trucks have just pulled in here. He's gonna offload. Sarah has pulled out, and that's the beauty behind the frac tank. The trucks don't have to wait for the tankers to spread, and the tankers don't have to wait for the trucks. So Andrew, he'll be back here momentarily. He'll be able to load himself and go, and the truck doesn't have to wait. So we're gonna go ahead and get back to the farm and get working on that Freightliner. All right, the rain shower has just moved in through the area here. We're just getting back from checking on them guys spreading. It does not look like we are going to be working on the Freightliner truck here that's in the shop. We've got to work on this Freightliner. Jaden was moving feed with this truck. He said he went to get in and it quit. He stopped the guys that had just got that tank on truck 12, and they had looked and it was smoking out from underneath the hood. So they just put the fire out here on it. I pulled the battery compartment off, and all of the batteries have shorted out, and something has caught itself on fire here. This power steering hose, that has burned through. Jason said the fuel line, that had also that was also real hot. So this thing almost went up in smoke. The problem is we've got a load of BMR silage on here. We've got to get the batteries out, get a new set of batteries, and I've got to trace these battery cables back through on the frame rail. I don't know if we've got a battery cable that is zip tied to something that is shorted out here or what, but we've got something going on that we need to get figured out here. So you'll have to call Napa Group 31, a 12-volt stud style battery. See if they've got 3 of them. We'll pull them out and take them down. So we're going to get after this. We'll touch base with you here once we figure out what we've got going on here. All right, so we ended up pulling the batteries out of this. Jay has went to get some of those, and then we'll show you what we have found has caused our problem here. What had happened is the battery cable comes alongside the starter here, and it has shorted itself out right here. It has shorted itself out against the frame, and then what it was doing is arcing itself up through there, and it got the side of the like the fuel line and power steering hose line and everything else hot, and it almost burned through those. So we're gonna go ahead and get this cable off of the starter, pull it out. It goes back to the battery, and then we'll have to make up a new cable and get that laying in there and get this truck back going again. Alright, you got it unhooked, Jay?
You got me on unhook all the cable lines now?
Just the positive side, and I'll pull this cable through. Okay. If I have to crawl up there, I'll crawl up there. Will it come off?
I got the nut up. I'm just getting the cable off.
Alright, we're down underneath the truck here, and Jason's got that dropped out. Now we'll just pull this cable out through. This is the burnt cable. The cable that arced itself. Come on. I gotta cut a frickin' zip tie here, I think. Maybe I can pull it through. I got it pulled through. Alright, so there's that one there. And I'm gonna inspect this other one, which I don't know if this is okay or not. It appears to be. You're all dirty underneath there. Okay, this other cable, I think, is fine here. No, it's not. So we're gonna make yeah, maybe it's all right. No, this other cable here is bad too, so we're gonna have to make up a couple of new ones. This is it's not horrible, but it's got a little nick in it, so I might as well replace this one too. Alright, Jay has one battery cable made up. We've got the battery setting in place. We're getting ready to make up this next battery cable, which we just need to hammer this end closed here, get some loom on there, and then send the battery cables in. We've got our power steering hose on and replaced. The power steering hose is laying down on the frame, and this frame, it must have got hot enough and it arced and it burned this power steering hose. So I just want to make sure we get the sponsor name in there, Eaton Weatherhead. We use a lot of that stuff, but Jason's got a bolt down in there he's having a little bit of trouble with, so
Yeah, it kind of snapped.
we're gonna, did it snap?
Yeah, I just gotta get it out now, but
Yeah, that's all right. We zip tie that. So we'll go ahead and hammer this end shut on this one end here, and then we've got to get our determined length figured out, and we'll get the other end out of it. All right, we've got the new batteries in, brand new battery cables coming up to the starter. We had to replace the power steering hose. Now we're gonna go ahead and get it started up. We've got a load of corn silage on that we need to take up and dump, and then that should about do it for this video. Well, we're going to take this up and dump it, and that is going to about do it for this video. I want to thank you for watching, and we will catch you at the next video.